So yes, I've been invited here today to give you an overview to the project, and I think maybe a good way to start with that is maybe just give you a little bit of a background to the BOC Linde Group. So to start with, this is just an introduction to Linde. So as of the end of March this year, we merged with Praxair, which makes us the largest gases and engineering business globally. So that with that comes a lot of expertise and a lot of experience that we can use to utilise in projects such as hydrogen refuelling. And just a couple of these numbers that I'd like to point out is around our employment numbers. So the Linde Group employs 65,000 people, of which we employ 7,000 as part of the engineering business. So those are not only engineers who maintain our own plants, but they also offer service, operation and maintenance for customer-owned facilities, but they're also involved in R&D activity as well. And another key one is that we also operate over 1,000 plants globally, of which 600 are a mixture of air separation, hydrogen and CO2 plants. These numbers give us, and activities give us, a really strong understanding of the market and how we can produce, store and transport gases, including hydrogen, around the globe. Just to give you an overview of Linde hydrogen refuelling activity globally, a couple of the key ones there again. So we have the first hydrogen train project that Mike referred to in the previous presentation in Germany. So Linde are going to provide the hydrogen refuelling infrastructure and the hydrogen for that project. And also another key one is the power to hydrogen that we've got in Germany as well. So that's a green hydrogen production facility that will be used to refuel vehicles such as buses like that we're looking to do here in Liverpool. So we've got a strong project recorded globally with more than 100 hydrogen refuelling stations installed in all of the key early markets. So moving on to BOC in the UK in particular. So in the UK, BOC have 4 hydrogen production facilities. So we've got the largest in the UK, which is up in Teesside in Middlesbrough. And then as Mark referred to earlier, we also have the hydrogen production facility at St Helens. And then we have 2 hydrogen production facilities in South Wales. All 4 of those production facilities are SMR plants, so the steam methane reforming, so they're producing brown hydrogen. And the rationale for those in the first instance is they're supplying large regional hydrogen and demand customers either for the chemicals or the glasses industry. So for St Helens, that's providing large volumes of hydrogen to Pilkington Glass. It's worth also saying here as well that just to the west of this, we have a hydrogen production facility in Dublin, and the Dublin plant is actually an electrolysis plant. So all the hydrogen in Ireland comes from electrolyzed hydrogen. And in support of all that, and part of the point I was making earlier around our engineering capabilities, you'll see there that the black dot in the middle represents our engineering division, which is based in Brinsworth near Sheffield. That solution's there basically to provide all the engineering support we need for any projects in the UK, but it's also home to our regional operations centre, which actually monitors all our own and customer plants to ensure that they're all running efficiently. So then we talk about our hydrogen capabilities, and this can be mirrored in Teesside, but this is what happens at St Helens as well. So we have the ability to provide hydrogen from a very small Genie cylinder, which is 500 grams of hydrogen for small portable applications, all the way to delivering and operating large on-site production facilities, similar, if not the same, as what you see at our own production plants in the UK. So this gives us a unique ability to work with customers either based on capacity required, or it can help around footprint, or it can do with growth aspirations as well. So if you've got a customer who particularly wants to start with a small fleet of vehicles, then maybe the most economic way to do that is to deliver hydrogen in via tube trailer. So they can do that, and then as that fleet grows, they can then look to on-site production, which will be the longer term, most cost-effective way to service the hydrogen. And then we come on to St Helens, which is obviously the main reason that I'm given the opportunity to speak today. So the St Helens plant was commissioned in 1993. There's also a major refurbishment plan for 2020, which will coincide with the landing of the hydrogen refuelling station for the Alexander Dennis bus project. It's a bottom-fired furnace with 14 reformer tubes, which is a Hauer design. And that hydrogen that's produced will go into a single customer pipeline. It will be filled into tube trailers which will go across the UK, and it will also be used to fill hydrogen cylinders as well. So it's, as I said before, it's an SMR process of high temperature shift, which has pressure swing absorption and hydrogen compression using a natural gas feed. So there's an on-site team that supports, which is supported by the ROC, so we have engineers on site, which is one of the real benefits of putting the hydrogen station on our production plant, is that we basically have engineers on site 24/7. They're supported by the remote operations centre as well, so they can be informed straight away and given a course of action to resolve anything. And the plant is designed for a capacity of 1,600 metres cubed per hour, with an advancement to 1,700. To put that into kilograms, that's about 150 kilograms per hour. So we have the capacity to produce 3.5 tonnes, roughly, of hydrogen per day for that site. So why are we in this? So why are we doing this? And the key thing is that what our first bus refuelling project that we undertook was at Kitty Brewster in Aberdeen. That station was part of a FCHAU project called High Transit, and it was there to put down an on-site electrolysis plant, which was to refuel 10 hydrogen buses from Van Hool. And some of the key facts in that is that it's been operational since 2015. To this day, it's operating at above 99% availability. So we've got really high level of availability. So the fleet operators that are using the station are getting a similar to what they would have by having diesel on site. Then those 10 vehicles have done over 1 million miles of operation, and we've delivered over 90 tonnes of hydrogen. And that is on average between 200 and 250 kilograms per day. And one of the key learnings was this, is that we added redundancy to the station design. So we put twin compressors in, we put 3 small electrolyzers in, we put twin dispensers in. So in those instances where you may have an issue with a particular component, it can be bypassed, which means the end user still gets hydrogen delivered and we're still producing hydrogen to meet the demand. And that's a key learning. And one of the things which makes it such a strong driver for us to go to St Helens for the next project is we want to prove that this isn't a one-off project. We want to take the learnings and the experience and the operation that we've got from here, and we want to duplicate that for St Helens as well. So just to give you an overview on the St Helens project, so it's a consortium bid that we submitted to all 11 have been successful with, and that's a combination of Arcola Energy, Mersey Travel, Liverpool City Region, BOC and Aberdeen City Council. So the Aberdeen City Council part is that there's a total of 35 vehicles coming into the project, 25 of which will be utilised in Liverpool City Region, and 10 will expand the fleet up in Aberdeen. So the hydrogen is going to be supplied by the existing plant at St Helens, with an average daily demand of 500 kilograms per night, is per day, but the buses will generally fuel late afternoon and into the evening. And the project will be delivered next year. So by this time, hopefully next year, you will start to see hydrogen vehicles in the Liverpool City Region.